T-Mix Radio. More native hip hop than your average crap rap show. I do have a special guest, as promised. He is a man that needs no introduction from me, and you'll definitely want to research and get familiar with my G, King Kino, aka Sun Tzu, aka Second Born Son. King Kino! Yo, what's up, Kino?
Doing
How you
good.
doing?
What's going on, bro? What's good?
Just checking in with the SavGod, man. How are things?
Man, things are going good, man. I'm staying busy. Gearing up for like a big run this year. Got a new album coming out, got a lot of projects in the works. I'm just staying busy, man, grinding, staying on
Yeah,
my grind.
that's what's up, man. And you're definitely known for that. I'm digging the new clothing line. I'm also digging the new native hip hop show that you got. Woo woo, that shit cracks. But anyway,
Appreciate you, bro.
give people a quick little insight on who King Kino is, as far as like who made you, like your earliest influences and so forth.
Earliest influences. I remember one of the first rap songs I ever heard. Um, when I was, I was a little shorty out in Cali, San Jose Bay Area,
Yes,
and
sir.
it was Beastie Boys, one of the Beastie Boys songs. I think it was Brass Monkey, and I heard these guys going off. I'm like, what is it? I never heard no music like that before. So ever since then, a lot of the West Coast stuff, Warren G, Snoop Dogg, first album, the Doggy Style album. Like I remember having that memorized front to back, and
Yeah.
then going into the '90s. Growing up, being like a kid of the '90s. Wu Tang and all that hardcore shit.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
a lot of East Coast influence, but a lot of West Coast stuff too. Rascast, Exhibit,
Oh,
just
yeah.
real lyrical. The lyrical cats is what always jumped out at me. Like people who were touching on wordplay and different styles and flows and uh, just rhyming ability and all shit like that. Man, is what that's those some of my earliest influences for sure.
Yeah, nice. But I did notice quite a time lapse there, as the first Beastie Boys project came out approximately in 86, 87, and then you jump into like Warren G and Snoop. Like, what was some of the gap there? Like, what also influenced you? Was there also a because I noticed your rhymes are really soulful. You have a soulful melodic flow as well as a very distinct sound and a very awesome demeanor per se. Now, I mean to put it in just a quick little sentence, is was there any
Yeah.
early soul music influence of any type, like some Motowns or some pop
Oh
music?
yeah, 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 man. Like as a kid, as a shorty, like since I could walk, I was always traveling on the powwow trail and dancing.
Oh
That's
yeah.
just how I was brought up. So my mom, like when we used to hit the road, like she listened to a lot of soul music, a lot of like Motown type stuff. So a lot of that was also influences too. So I, still to this day, I vibe to a lot of that. Like I probably listen to that more than I listen to hip hop nowadays.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. That's me too. As well as I'm now more appreciative of powwow music. The different styles. The hand drum styles and all that stuff. I appreciate that a lot more in my older age, of course. But
Yeah. Yeah.
talk a little bit about your early influence and being on the road and doing the powwow dancing, because I know that you, at one time, or still are, a championship dancer. Correct?
Yeah, it's been a few years since I really danced or competed, but yeah, I mean, I just grew up doing it. Like since I could walk, my parents um, brought me out into the arena, the right way, had like the right ceremony and everything back when I used to live in California, and then moved to Denver when I was about 6 or 7 years old and started traveling around to a lot more powwows nationwide and won a lot of championships and just just like snowballed. It was just something that became a part of who I was growing up.
Yeah.
So I got to meet a lot of different people from across the nation, different tribes, and see their culture and make friends. So that in itself, that in itself is in a way an influence. So like I have that in me knowing different people from different places. So that in a way that kind of helped my music too. Like understanding that you know uh the native community. It's a small world. At the same time, it's a big world too. Like so it's it was a dope experience for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not really, I don't think you were really getting familiar with it per se, but you were just basically finding yourself. I think that was already deep rooted in you as a, it takes a lot of hard work, dedication to be a championship dancer, a lot of discipline, um, and definitely, a lot of practice and, basically a lot of soul, which was already seemed like to be embedded in you. As I did a little bit of research and found out, that you were like all over. I'm saying like Nevada, California, down into the Four Corner areas dancing, and not just so forth
Yeah,
doing it for the titles, but doing it in deep appreciation and showmanship and dancing for those who can't, which I very much admire.
yeah, definitely, man. That's always one of the things that I was always told is you dance for those who can't, and it just became a passion. Like I said, I grew up doing it. It was like it was a way of me connecting to my people, connecting to my traditions and culture, and so it was something that I always loved and enjoyed. And like you said, it's not always about the competition, whatever. It's about community.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got to meet a lot of people, and at the same time, it was good. It gave me balance in my life because I mostly lived in the inner city,
Yeah.
so I wasn't around a whole lot of natives all the time. Like majority, like going to like school year and stuff. But when summertime came, or when it was time, when there was a powwow, when we traveled, then I really got to be around more natives. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so it gave me that balance where it was like, I'm over here, you know, 5 days out the week, chilling in the hood with my homies in the hood and stuff, and where I grew up, and into hip hop and all that. And at the same time, I had the counterbalance to that. When I got to travel to powwows, I got to chill, with my cousins and my brothers. These other homies that are from other tribes and stuff, and visit with them. So it gave me I guess you could say it made me dynamic in that way.
Yeah, definitely, and made you a well-rounded MC as well. And now jumping into the hip hop, I know that you represent many crews, as you said. You're all over the Southwest, and I don't know how far north you've been, but I know that just offhand, I think that you went as far as Montana. Am I correct?
Yeah. Actually, my very first project that I actually like recorded like in a legit studio was in Montana, and shout out to my bro Superman, who's like, he's a huge
Yeah.
star, he's international. He was one of my very first producers. Like I knew him from the powwow world first, and then I found out that he was into DJing and doing music and making beats and stuff later on. So like I tapped in with him, we touched bases and we chopped it up and stuff. And yeah, like I still have like one of my very first uh recordings, like tapes and CDs that I did, and they were to his beats. Like that was back when he was
Yeah.
mostly DJing. It was mostly DJing then, and he was doing production. And yeah, like I just hit him up, and he sent me like a CD with some beats, and I took that and just ran with it. So
Yeah.
so we go back a long time, and like I said, like up in Fort Belknap, Montana, one of my bros from the powwow world, that I used to dance with and stuff. He was one of the DJs there at the radio station, so he was the one who invited me up to do that. He knew I was into music and rhyming and all that, and he's like, "Hey, I got access to the studio. Come chill for the summer, and I can record some of your stuff." So that's how it all really happened. I'm like probably like a junior or senior in high school at the time.
Damn.
So that was something big for me, being able to see that I could really do it, and like I had a resource to do that was something I jumped on. And then like I said, just everything snowballed from there. That was really the jump start. So yeah, shout out to all the homies up there in Montana, Fort Belknap, Res, Grove on
Yeah.
Tribe, with
I,
my Crow family out in Crow Reservation too.
yeah.
Got peoples up there.
Yeah, I definitely had to throw Montana in there because, as you know from TV and the media right now, Montana's hot.
Hmm.
Montana's, got the Kevin Costner show, and every movie that's coming out now, something has to do with Montana. They're in the great state of Montana. Big shout out to my MT folks out there, man, chilling, listening, having a good time out there in that beautiful ass country. You know how we do with your boy SavGod on the phone with your boy DJT. We'll be right back after this. It's T Mix Radio. It's your boy DJT. I'm still lounging on the phone talking to the man, the myth, the legend, my homie from way back. I don't even know how far we're going back. I don't know, at least a decade? Holy cow. He's a fan and friend of the very first T Mix Radio show, which is on www.realhiphopuncut.com. King Kino always checked in with me, always kept it real, always provided some great music as well as a great friendship as well, and leading me into some insight within my own culture, my own pride. So I got to thank you for that, Mr. King Kino.
Hey, no doubt, man. That's what it's about, man. We inspire each other. Shout out to you too. Like you were saying, I mean, we've been associated for a while now. Like when you was doing your other shows, and so big ups to you on like your new platform, your new endeavors you got going on. We go back like when you were doing your mixtapes and stuff, and you always showed me support, so I always made it a point to show love back.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But let's jump into your brand new CD slash download slash upload. All that dope shit. Let's go into that. The brand new stuff. Like what do you got? I know you got some shit. Like just God damn it. I can't wait to hear it. But yo, I'm excited as a motherfucker right now. Sorry, yo. But yo, break something down for us. I mean, you always come with the heat. Bottom line. I mean, are we more in the boom bap era here, or are we more like you're getting to the more new wave of sound?
Well, for this new project, it's about 2 years in the making. Really, this next project that's coming out. The title of the album is Hater Slayer, and like you said, what I'm doing is kind of going back to the essence with this one. Yeah. Like my prior album that I did about a year and a half ago, I kind of jumped into some of the more new waves sounding stuff, more melodic flows, some melodies in there and stuff like that. And now that was just me, like I said, growing and adapting as an artist, trying to remain versatile and trying to show how dynamic I am as a recording artist, not just as an MC, as a rapper. So I did that. I feel like I kind of conquered that. I proved that I can. There's so many different styles that I can touch. So now I'm just kind of going back to having fun with it and going back to the essence, like where I started out, like when I was hungry, when I just wanted to be heard, when I wanted people to hear my music and have it catch their ear to where they're like, whoa, who was that? Did you hear what he said? So I'm taking it back to that, like I said, and there's like a whole renaissance of that going on within hip hop right now, where it's kind of getting back to the roots of it, like the MCing, the art of it, and lyricism. So I'm definitely bringing that sound that people are familiar from hearing me with. Bringing a lot of that back with this new project, the Hater Slayer album.
Dope. I'm definitely going to be checking that shit out, downloading it, whatever I got to do. You always got my support on that shit, because that shit is just, oh man, like going back to, the Circle of Iron, prime examples and all that fly shit. Oh, right off the bat too, I should have started this interview with saying R.I.P. to Thomas III.
Oh yeah, man, definitely, man. Rest in power to my bro, Thomas III. Unfortunate situation, but I've kind of made it my quest. I made it my vow now to keep his name alive, and in a way that's kind of it's bittersweet, but it's giving me a resurgence, because now I'm going even harder now, because the way I look at it is like and the way everyone should look at it is tomorrow's not promised. We don't know how much time we have here on this earth. And, I was given this talent. I was given this creativity, this ability from Creator above to, bring my message and to speak my truth in this world. So it really just put like a battery in my back to go even harder now, and to keep his name alive, keep his legacy alive, to rep for him, everything that we did, and to keep going, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So
Yeah,
That's why I feel like I don't have a second to waste.
exactly. I feel like during this pandemic, or per se, whatever you want to refer to it as or think of it as, I think it's
Yeah,
become a lot easier for all of us, everybody, to say someone, hey, I love you, man. Be safe. Travel safe. Take care of yourself. Do good. Be better than you were yesterday, because you never know. You never know what could happen, and a lot of the people and folks and elders that we have that all passed on. I mean, it's just you you feel bad if you didn't see him at the store or something and you didn't tell him, hey man, it's good to see you, I love you, because you never know, like you
yeah,
just said, you never know. And I know, when you reflect on friends and stuff, it's always like that, man, I could have did this, man, I could have did that, man, I could have canceled this to kick it with them, or man, I should have not, been on the back burner, man, it's never too late to apologize or make better of a situation. And I'm glad that you
mm,
brought that up, because that definitely brings good medicine to the circle, per se.
yeah, definitely, man. A lot of people can relate to that, like you say. There's a our native communities were hit hard by this pandemic and everything. So I know everyone can relate to that. We probably all have lost more people than we care than we care to than we care to say, and it hit us hard. So I think definitely everyone can appreciate that aspect of, like, realizing that we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So definitely make the most out of today and do what you can today. Take care of your peoples, show your people love, and you know show your appreciation to everything, to all aspects of life.
Definitely. And there it is from your boy King Kino. Wait. Hold on one sec, though. What do you like to be referred to as? I know it seems like every time we talk, I'm calling you something different. I know when we first talked, I called you King Zoo, and then it was King Kino, then it was Kino Casino, and then it was SavGod for the longest time. I mean, are you like the man with many names, kind of like the ODB?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had, at least a few monikers that play at any given time, But I mean, really, I don't really have a preference, Sav God, Second Born Son, Kino XL, the Comanche Commando, the Numbing Ninja, the Bushy Braid Bandit, like just whatever.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk.
There's a lot. There's a whole list,
Yeah,
But
let's talk about the
yeah,
let's talk about the gear, Braid Gang. Now I gotta say
break it.
that yeah, that's the most gangsterous joints I've ever seen, because you're really calling it out for what it is. Like, people claim to be a native brand or a native entity of sorts, but you're saying you ain't got braids, you ain't part of this crew.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, it's kind of like going back to what I said. Like, when I was a kid growing up, I wasn't always around other natives a lot growing up in the city. So, a lot of times some of my schools that I went to, like elementary, junior high school and stuff, I was like the only native there. And I would be the only kid with long hair with braids like that. So it was something. So the whole idea behind Braid Gang, it's a streetwear brand, and, we're into fashion and art and all that. But more so than that, it's kind of just about normalizing, that part of our culture.
Yeah,
I'm Comanche tribe from the Southern Plains of Oklahoma. So that us having long hair and having our hair braided is like at the at the root of our culture. It was
yeah,
something that we always believed gave us strength and gave us power. And so Braid Gang as a brand and as a movement is just basically trying to I'm trying to do my part to normalize that, to make it dope, and make it more visible,
yeah,
make it make a way for, kids growing up to see, like, yo, this is cool, like this is who I am. I don't have to try and fit in with y'all. I can do my own thing. And so that's basically the essence behind it. And like you said, at the same time, we do keep it G. We
yeah,
do keep, we keep our styles fresh. And because, like I said, natives as a people, we're dynamic. You can't just put us in one box, because we're even back to the ancestors. Like, we've always been dynamic as a people, and able to adapt and to adjust, and that's what made us good survivors. That's what made us strong as people, is our ability to do that. So so basically, that's what braid gang is. Is it's and you don't necessarily have to have your hair long or have braids
Yeah.
to support it. You know what I mean? Like you can support it without that. Like because it's art. It's art. It's
Yeah.
expression. Yeah. If you like the art of it, like I said, I design everything myself. I package every merch package that I send out, and everything. Like it's all me. I'm looking to expand in the future, but this was just my way of uh, building a movement on that, and build, like I said, being unapologetically native, and pushing the culture in that way.
Yeah, and definitely, how can people get at you for the Braid Gang merchandise? Because I'm warning y'all, if you don't reply to his message within the first 5 to 7 minutes, I guarantee your size is probably sold out. So please let the listeners know how they can get a hold of the Braid Gang official merchandise.
Well, you can hit me up on Facebook. I have the Facebook page, which is Braid Gang Official. That's BRAIDGXNG Official. There's the official page on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. You can even just Google the hashtag Braid Gang, and the links will pop up. The Instagram is at the savage .god, the Savage God Instagram. And yeah, but between Facebook and Instagram is where I do most of my business online. Unless I do, sometimes I'll pop up at events. Now the powwows and stuff are starting to open up and go on, so I'll be doing pop-ups and stuff. I always make sure to take uh, some merch with me when I go to shows, and I throw it out to people. I hook people up, and yeah, just you can just Google it, Break Game.
Definitely, and I'm advising y'all. You guys like a design, you fuck with one of the designs. Don't wait. Don't, hey, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Hey, I'm gonna get 15 minutes. I would rush to your nearest Western Union or your nearest bank and withdraw some money and put it on your PayPal, put it on your Cash App, put it on your Venmo, and get at this man. Because I've seen some gear sell. I've seen a lot of gear sell, but not as fast as SavGod and Braid Gang gear. Like even I got left out. I was
Yeah,
like,
man,
yo,
I'm preaching it.
yeah, I was like, yo, I would transfer some money and yada yada yada, and I got back at you the next day. You're like, oh, I saw that size is out, God. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, man, I've been fortunate enough to be blessed to have people who believe in the movement, believe in the brand, and support it. And yeah, man, kind of one of the things that I like to do is I don't put out huge quantities of each piece. So there's definitely a limited amount of whatever it is, whether it be a shirt, whether it be posters or hoodies or whatever it is. There's a limited amount because I feel like that creates the value. People understand
mm-hmm.
that, um, uh, you know, like if you're on the ball and you get at it early, and you have a piece of history right there that not everybody's gonna have.
Yep,
So shout out to everyone who supports the brand. I got some people who have like every piece that I put out, and it's dope because like they it like I said, it just creates value, and it shows the who the real supporters are.
yeah,
So
and
I'm blessed, man.
and not only
We're
that,
definitely, like I said, we're definitely going to expand more.
with a limited quantity too, it's definitely a flex. You walk in somewhere, and
Yeah.
fools can't get that anywhere. You're wearing a Nike or something like that. Someone could just easily go to in the nearest mall and cop that, or jump online and cop that. But you miss out on the first, what do you? What I know you at least probably do 5 pieces of your first run. You miss out on those first 5. You could just be asked out, and unless you go back into the vaults and decide to, you know, reprint a few more, or you bless somebody with their own personal order or whatever. Like, man, yeah, I was pretty mad. I missed out on that last that last drop, as y'all could tell.
Oh man, we'll get you squared away though, bro. We'll get you hooked up. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
Okay. Okay. Sitting here on the phone, T Mix. Wait. T-Mix Radio. We on the phone with the one, the homie that I call SavGod, King Kino, second born son, the homie, the master, the motherfucking Wu-Tang legend. Okay, I threw that last part in, but that's the homie, man. He's definitely a follower of the Wu-Tang. Can we chat about that a little? What did you fool with the new series at all? The one that was just on Showtime?
I haven't got to watch the full thing, but yeah, I did catch a little bit of it, and it was dope, man. Like I said, like I'm so busy, I have so many projects going on at any given time that I really don't get a whole lot of time to watch a lot of TV or shows as much as I would like to, at least. But yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out more.
Yeah, I checked out the of Mics and Men, that little documentary they did about. I was really amazed about how RZA's brother just like robbed him. I'm like wow, and how everybody's mad at RZA because RZA's the one that put this together. Basically, they formed like Voltron or whatever, but they didn't have the business side squared away. So
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah, so they kicked RZA's big brother out, saying that he robbed them. But to me, I was just amazed that like their brother's sitting in this fly ass yachts and this big ass house, and everybody's still living in the projects and eating top ramen and whatever. Like it was that part just amazed me. I'm like, how could you do that to a brother? Like RZA's
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, RZA's getting jerked on promotion, getting jerked for his production, and he's in a bad album deal where he's got to crank out so many beats, and you're just kicking back, eating filet mignon and pork fried rice, all that fly shit, and everybody else is hurting, eating spam. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, and it's sad because you see that too often too, like in hip hop, like amongst artists. But for me, I think like a lot of the young guys starting now are kind of getting more familiar with learning the business side of it all, so that you don't end up in those type of situations and stuff. And I know for me, like when we first started out, years ago, it was like in the same boat. We didn't really know, like we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to create. We wanted to be artistic and put our music out there and be heard and have our message put out there. But we didn't know a whole lot about the business side of it until later on. It's kind of you got to have a quick learning curve to stay up to date with that, because that's definitely something that you always want to have at least a working knowledge of. Especially being an artist in this day and age with technology the way it is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, YouTube does help out a lot, man. Like these kids don't know how good they have it, especially like if you're a DJ, you could just jump online and learn your favorite scratches. You no longer have to have the big homie or a mentor per se, or you don't have to have
Yeah,
any kind of a business degree or licensing to register as a LLC. You just follow the YouTube steps, and YouTube really is a blessing. I mean, because there's a lot of people out there, that signed bad deals, like as we know with like the Big Daddy Kanes and Cold Chillin',
yeah,
that whole story, and and again Roxanne Shante. I mean, she had to wait all these years for her, to get her props per se. But
yeah,
I noticed that one thing with her deal, what was dope was she put that they were going to pay for her college in her contract, because that was important to her mother
yeah,
that she finished college, and now she's a doctor. Holy cow!
yeah. That's what. So yeah, stuff like that. That's important. Like you got to understand. A lot of artists, especially if you're coming up and you're like just getting into it, you got to understand that I mean, you gotta assert yourself a lot of times in these situations, just to let people know that they can't take advantage of you or whatever. So you gotta you gotta do your due diligence, as they say.
Yeah, definitely. And on that note, is there anything that you want to share? Like anything for the youth coming out? Anybody, trying to be creative, trying to stay on a creative side in a pandemic is as a measure in itself. Any advice for any of your fellow natives and non-natives as well? But just any advice, and this is coming from the SavGod, and there's a reason I call him the SavGod, because I believe in King Kino and all of his projects. But any advice for all the shorties out there?
Yeah, definitely. You know, one of the main things that I really learned, especially when starting up like the whole Braid Gang movement and starting that brand, was that you really got to trust yourself, trust your own intuition, and trust your vision. If you can visualize something, you can make it happen. And a lot of times you will come across, non-believers, naysayers, or people who want to doubt your potential or say that you're doing the wrong thing. Like when I first started kind of like putting the word out there of Braid Gang, there were some people, um, they might have been a little bit of older generation, so they didn't really understand. But I persevered through it. I didn't listen to none of the criticism or nothing because I knew that what I was doing was something positive.
Yeah.
I knew that the essence behind it, the movement and the energy that I was putting into it was for something that was positive.
Yes.
So that in itself has helped carry it. And like I said, it just these people didn't understand it for whatever reason because they couldn't relate. But there is a whole community of people who do relate to it and who do understand the meaning and the essence and the energy behind it. And like you said, as you can see, things are selling out fast.
Yeah.
So that right there, me actually getting my feet wet and jumping in head first into it and just doing it regardless of what people were thinking, proved to me that this was something that I needed to do. This was something that was worthwhile. And since then I've just kept pushing with it. I'm pushing, keep everything pushing because it's like, you know what I mean? You got to believe in yourself first. If you don't believe in yourself first, nobody else is going to believe in you. So that'd be the message I would give to people. Don't waste time. You got an idea, you got something you want to do it. And that goes back to kind of something that I learned and picked up too, as a part of my activism, coming back from Standing Rock and spending time up there and doing stuff, and then coming home and keeping that momentum going, getting involved locally or local issues and doing stuff for the community locally to encourage, preservation of culture and, like I said, asserting ourselves as Native people in this modern day and age and, making our voices heard and, our issues, bringing them to the forefront. So, whatever it is, whatever you got going on, whatever you aspire to do, you can do it. Don't listen to the people who are doubting you. You just gotta jump in head first. And as long as it's something that's positive, as long as it's something that you think the world needs, there's no limit to your potential.
Definitely. There it is. The man SavGod in the house, y'all. Big friend of the T-Mix radio show. Years upon years we've been bumping his joints. Thank you for your time, SavGod. I'm going to let you go on ahead and get along with your day and kick it with the shorties and make some more fly-ass foods and all that dope shit you be doing.
So, definitely. Appreciate you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a privilege. Good luck on all your endeavors, bro.
Yes, sir. You as well.